Everybody's cut out for this work. Everybody is soul first. We all have soul senses.
Hello, and welcome to the Constance Messmer podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So the next question comes from San in London. This question is, could you please describe the dark night of the soul from your point of view? Finding it very painful and challenging. I sometimes even find myself on the verge of giving up. I think all of this psychic development stuff, because it feels like I've been on a fool's errand for so many years now and can't help but wonder why others have a much easier time connecting and also have skills open up effortlessly, what looks like it from the outside anyway. While after several years of practice, it feels like I've not made any progress on this path. Doing the daily meditation, covering with light, grounding, clearing, cutting cords, etc. Is it just that I'm not cut out for this work? Perhaps I should redirect my time and energy to another pursuit that doesn't feel like I'm banging my head on a door that will never really open to me. Sometimes I get so sad that you're feeling so sad. So San in London, no, you're not on a fool's errand. And because it feels like I've been, where was that one part? Is it just that I'm not cut out for this work? Everybody's cut out for this work. Everybody is soul first. We all have soul senses. It's about tuning into them and how to use them. And I hear that you're saying you're doing daily meditation and cutting cords and covering with light and everything. So if you're having times where you're not getting a connection, and I had several questions come in like this, and there's a couple more that I'm going to also ask, is I want you to remember that sometimes with this, it's that you need someone to deliver a message to, and sometimes it's much easier. When I used to teach classes and I had students come in and in-person classes, and they said, I'm not getting anything from my guides or angels. And I said, the next round of material that I'm going to teach you specifically, because we've already studied all the clairs, the empathic clairs, and we've studied the chakras. The next set of material that I'm going to teach you is connecting with guidance and how to navigate those fields. And that will be helpful too. Sometimes when you're not getting guidance for yourself, it's because it's much easier for you to get guidance for others. And so this is when it's a great opportunity to either practice this or attend a live meditation or mediumship class and learn locally or wherever if there's a group one, and then practice giving reads on each other with a trusted teacher so that you can have someone that nurtures and uplifts you, not discourages you. So the thing that I would say is that, San, when I scan your energy field, no, I think you're gifted a very heightened healer. And I think that you hear spirit differently. I'm getting that it's more ClairCognizance, which is knowing. So it's not a hearing, a seeing, a physical feeling, an emotional feeling, that it's more ClairCognizance. It's just knowing. And I think it would be best extrapolated in a one-on-one situation. Maybe when you're talking to friends and all of a sudden wisdom just pours through you. This is higher level frequency information. This is angels and divine consciousness moving through you. This is your wise self connected to source energy and kind of this frequency of knowledge so that you can be a helpful friend in those situations. And you're like, what did I just say? Or they say, oh my God, you were so helpful when I had that issue. And you're like, I don't even remember what I said. Those are cues that you are on it. You're on it. And those are soul senses. Those are you using ClairCognizance predominantly. A lot of people use the word intuition blanket term, but no, ClairCognizance is the only intuition in my world, because there's no reason. And usually if not usually, but if you're hearing something and seeing something, you have to use reason to understand what just happened. With ClairCognizance, it's a knowing. There's no processing in the brain other than you just know it. So I definitely feel like joining a local class, if you can do that, a mediumship circle will help put it into practice, but also recognize when you're with friends or family and you're all of a sudden doing deep listening and you kind of zone out and you're like, wait, here's an answer. Hello. And then you would be like, where did I get that answer? Where did I get that answer? And it might just be wise self thread, but it may be that you might have an overwhelming feeling that I got it from outside myself, not from within myself. So I would try these things. Hey, as you follow my teachings, I've created this journal to be your companion. Your 11 Soul Senses is a journal for self-discovery. It's an invitation to deepen your connection to yourself and the world around you and others. This is a good thing. Your soul senses are experienced through your higher conscious awareness. Through them, you perceive the spiritual aspects of your environment, the energy patterns, vibrations, soul level experiences, and underlying feelings. I'm laughing because I'm reading a script and it's going a little slow for me. Fully tuning into your world in this way, you increase your awareness and you begin to live your unlimited potential. These are my words, but I had to write them down to remember them. This journal is for you to document your quest for self-discovery. This is a good idea. Definitions are in there to help you understand how you are perceiving through your soul senses. Don't forget, I'm all about contemporary language. Prompts and quotes that we've added guide and encourage you. The empty pages are there for extraordinary exploration as you connect with your own higher states of awareness. I think I moved my eyeballs away from looking at the camera. But listen, to get yours, I want you, I invite you, I'm encouraging you to head to constancemessmer.com and check out my shop. Listen, I did it for you. All this I do for you. You know that. I believe in you. You got this. Thanks for tuning in. So back to the question, wow, Spirit just said, answer the dark night of the soul. I'm like, okay. Oh, so dark night of the soul. I think John of the Cross, started or gave that term, right? I also know Mother Teresa of Calcutta spoke of a dark night of the soul. When I learned about her experience, I've never read anything of John of the Cross, but I think it's John of the Cross. God, I hope I'm not wrong. Is it John of the Cross? Can you guys look it up? They're like, go, you're fine. Teresa of Calcutta. It was when I watched a film and I saw that experience with her having that kind of feeling like I don't get answers. You used to talk to me. I'm not feeling you around. I don't get it. I remember thinking, God, if I could just talk to you, but she had passed. Well, I could talk to her, right? But what I really got, because I did a psychic read on her and I was like, oh, this is what's going on. I did a psychic read and went into her chakras and I was like, oh, this is what's going on. Your vocabulary has expanded so much with divine source that it's no longer clairaudience. It's not about you hearing it, turning to the old form of how you would have communication. And it's more claircognizance. It's pure knowing. And so this whole way of receiving information or guidance or yes, I'm going to use these words. You're either going to be okay with it or not. God has flipped on you, Teresa, or maybe San, that it's not the usual way or not even in some of the taught way, that it's more so that you're supposed to get into the flow of life and notice you're called to do this. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, something shows up or you see something or there's the answer you've been looking for or you're compelled to buy that thing and you don't even know why you need it. And, I'm very conscious of overconsumption on stuff that we don't need, but maybe you're compelled to buy something. And next thing you know, 2 days later, a friend is like, God, I need this thing. And you're like, oh my God, I just bought this. Must be for you. And that's you being in the flow. So I think I would have told Teresa of Calcutta, if we were pals back then, I would have said, Mother Teresa, I just think you should recognize the different ways that you are being communicated with God or how God is communicating with you in the divine presence, in the mystery of now, not necessarily in your meditation time or in the moments that you're asking, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And just that the path unfolds. And I think she came to that. She was like, oh, if it works out, then that's your yes. And I think that's what God wants us to be is, fully in that divine presence so that it's incorporated in the lifestyle that we live. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Dark night of the soul. I definitely have friends that have gone through this. Do believe we have pivotal moments in our astrology or in our life where stuff is surfacing and we're having to look at the darkness and the shadow energy, as Jung would call it. Absolutely. But do I think that means we're cut off from source energy? Never. And do I think that we're cut off from our wise self? No. No, you're asking my opinion. No is my answer. I don't think we are. I think that we just forget that maybe it's changed, right? Maybe the relationship or the relationship to ourself has changed because it's growing and expanding. And so try the different things, which is why I teach all the different 11 soul senses because, you might be strong at some and weaker at others, but it will shift. It will shift. And definitely the way guides and loved ones on the other side and your dog or your pet or your cat or whatever, or your horse or trees communicate with you is at a different frequency and a different collection of those clairs than if you're conversing with angelic light and source energy. They're higher frequencies, so it's more claircognizance in those arenas. So yeah. Hey, Constance Messmer here. I just want to do a shout out of big thanks to all the members. I am so grateful. And all the people dropping in and giving little donations here and there and super thanks and all that stuff. I really appreciate you. You members and you people contributing and subscribers are what helped me bring this content to everyone, really. They both contribute to the cost of production, and I am definitely grateful for that. This stuff is not cheap to put out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So every little bit helps. And I am filled with gratitude that you're stepping up. I am not necessarily a joiner, not usually, but there are environmental issues and other organizations that I do belong to and I contribute to because I like to see them persevere. And I'm hoping you feel the same about this work. I hope you put it into practice in your life. That's another way that you could spread this work and help change our world, which is what I think it ultimately does. As you know, I think if everyone tuned into their soul senses, the world would be a much better place. So when you subscribe, it's a big yes vote for the content, and it helps spread the work across the planet. So when you put the lessons into practice and subscribe and like and share, you help me help you carry the lesson beyond you and me. And I am just really grateful.
Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.